This is Real Talk episode 6. It is December 2nd. I am Brian Rose. I'm here at London Real Studios, but I'm solo because this is where I get to answer your questions that you've submitted to me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Usually, you see me in here when I'm joined by an amazing guest. The last 2 weeks has been absolutely incredible. I'm just now kind of getting back to working on London Real as an academy, as a business, thinking about next year, because I had so many episodes back to back with so many important people that I was just going out of my mind. I'm thinking back, we had Imogen Heap, musician, futurist. Then we had a walking interview with Ido Portal in central London where we almost got arrested 3 times. Then I came back in the studio for Marianne Williamson, 11-time best-selling author, spiritual advisor. She made Oprah Winfrey cry. And then the following week, I had pretty much our biggest guest ever on the show, which is the comedian Eddie Izzard. And then the following day, I had Wim Hof, the Iceman. So to be honest, my brain was just fried at home. It's funny, I think Mariana is just like, she doesn't believe me when I tell her tomorrow's guest is the most important ever, because I said that like 5 times in a row. And Luis probably doesn't believe me either. So that's what the last 2 weeks have been like. It's been great to kind of get back and get focused on some of the important things we're working on for next year, and I'll talk about them a little bit later. But to continue with the episodes this week, we've got race car drivers and poker players. It's getting pretty exciting. Starting tomorrow, 5 p.m. here, you can watch Max Chilton, who's an F1 racer, young kid, like 24 years old. He's been racing since he was 10 years old. Reminds me a bit of a documentary about the Brazilian Ayrton Senna, because he started so young, and I'm really looking forward to asking Max what it's like, to drive so fast and to put your life on the line, every time that you do your job. So very excited for him. And then on Friday, we've got professional poker player Liv Boeree. She's really fascinating. She's actually a professional poker player, but she also does all sorts of other things, including she's trained with mixed martial arts fighter Tito Ortiz. And so excited to have her here Friday, 5 p.m. You can watch both of those live as Academy members. Just click on the LondonRealAcademy.com, sign up. So much incredible stuff going on there. So that's my week, but I'm just a little more relaxed because, they're more normal guests as opposed to some of the other ones that I've been on, but it's going to be great talking to them. So super excited. I'm also excited by the record number of applications we've had for the London Real Business Accelerator program, which is starting early next year. Just blown away. We've been working on this for a few months. We put out applications yesterday and an email out to everyone. We've had over 100 applications in less than 24 hours. We're really only looking for 5 people that we're going to take through an 8-week intensive course. That's really, the idea is to take your passion and turn it into a business. And it's a lot of what we've done here over the last 4 years at London Real. So super excited. I know when we started the Academy, a lot of people signed up for the private mentoring, but it's something we never did because I really had to focus on really building the Academy and the show. But now we're going to do a small program early next year. So if you're interested in that, there's a link below, or go on to LondonRealAcademy.com. There'll be a link to it somewhere, or check your email because we sent one out yesterday. So super excited about that. We've also got some more things to come. I want to talk about TED Talks because I don't think I got the chance to talk about that last week because there was so many things going on in my head. But 2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure of going up to TEDx Leamington Spa to watch Roger Frampton, and he's the gentleman that's been teaching me how to do muscle-ups. I train with him pretty much every week at the Primrose Hill Bars, and I watched him do his TED Talk, and he said, Brian, I looked back and it was like 14 months from when you told me that I should do a TED Talk, and he made it happen. And to be honest, he went out there and he owned the stage. He not only made me proud, he blew me away by the way he owned the material. And I just thought, you know what? Roger is now a KPI, a key person of influence, because of that TED Talk. So I came home, I was flying, I was super happy. I actually took Gabby up there and she watched it as well. And I actually met Jeff Thompson up there, the author, BAFTA award-winning screenwriter, and saw him up there too. He spoke at the same TEDx. So it was a really good day. And then I came home and I logged on to the London Real Academy private Facebook page, and I watched my man and Academy member, Akash Takar, in Seattle give one of the most impressive TEDx talks I've ever heard in my life. It was all about music in the video gaming industry. And let me tell you, you don't have to like music or video games to be impressed with his talk. He gave it in an opera house in Seattle that was filled with 3,000 people. I kid you not. And it was streamed live around the world. And he was a boss player. He sat on that rug, and I actually had a Skype with him last night, and he's like, Brian, the rug felt like home. You know that TEDx rug that everybody sit on? And he was such in control. He was throwing graphics up. He was throwing music up. And I'm telling you, he is now a KPI as well. He is a key person of influence, and he's going to get those big jobs because when people look to music in the video gaming industry, his name's going to come up. So proud to see our Academy members taking their lives to the next level and doing TEDx talks. As you know, my talk in January really changed my life, and we're going to be offering something in the next 10 days, so just keep an eye on your emails. But it's going to be something early next year called How to Create and Ace Your TED Talk. And it's going to be a 10-week course where we teach you how to go ahead and do that and really become a key person of influence by doing that. It's a great way to publish your work, and it's something that I'm very familiar with. And so is my TEDx coach, who ran my TEDx event, Mr. Alex Mary, who's going to be helping us with that. So keep your eyes posted on that. Lots of exciting things happening over here now that I can get kind of back to work and do less hosting and more creating. A lot of questions today, and I want to get to them right away. But first, a few things. If you haven't been to the London Real Academy site recently, got to check it out. It is blistering fast. The activity feed is tight. There's so many posts in there. We've got the live television 24 hours a day. You can watch London Real. You can watch all the live episodes. I think there's 6 or 7 on there right now. So if you want and you can't wait, you can go watch my interview with Wim Hof, the Iceman, right now. You can go watch my interview with Marianne Williamson, incredible woman, right now. You can watch my interview with Imogen Heap, and you can watch my interview with Eddie Izzard right now. So incredible stuff happening right now, and the site is just, it's the best it's ever been. You can search for members on the Academy based on skill set, based on interest, based on location. Also, if you're a member, please go in now and update your profile so other people can find you. We've got a form that you can fill out so you can find accountability buddies in a heartbeat. So much stuff happening, and we're working on even more. So excited. Go check that out. On the private Facebook group right now, we got things kicking off. We've got Archie, who's got an episode of UX Real, that's User Experience Real, with Andrew Priestley, which is debuting tomorrow. That's Daniel Priestley's father. I can't wait to watch this episode. Super excited. I hear he's quite a cool dude, but I've never met him, so can't wait to see that. Good work, Archie. Looks like your reel is really coming along. We've had vlogs. That's your 3-minute introduction piece from Anthony Arvantinakis and from Not Care Grassel. So thanks for putting those up. If you're watching this now and you haven't posted your 3-minute video to camera introducing yourself on the London Real Academy private Facebook group, stop this video, pause it, and go do it now, because you have no excuse. It's an amazing way to get out of your comfort zone, to really publish perhaps the first piece of video you ever have about yourself. And it's just a great way to connect with Academy members. People find friends, mentors, investors, all through just doing that one piece of 3-minute video. So stop right now and go do it. I'm telling you, it's an incredible piece you can do. Last piece, if you are anywhere near Amsterdam on Friday, and that includes you, the Iceman, Wim Hof, if you're watching, then you've got to go to our meetup. I think there's like 12 people going. Alexander Ball is running it, who was at the Dan Pena live event in March, along with Akash, funny enough. Funny enough how those guys are doing big things with their life after that incredible event. And he's running it. Alexander, I don't know what you're doing in Amsterdam. Actually, I think I know why you're there. And so I'm excited. I filmed a private video for anybody at that meetup. So you guys will have that from me. So there you go. I say we get started and answer some questions. So let's do this. Question number 1 comes from Kunal Wadwani, and he says, Brian, my question is how to be more productive. How can we use our full potential? Physical activities, meditation, yoga, what things can you do to be a high performance person? You know, this is a really good question. I'm really glad you asked me. Lately, I'd say it's the last year, 2015, I've had one of the most productive years of my life, by far. I am doing all of the right things, and trust me, I've been in places in my life where I have just not been very productive. I've had bad physical standards, I've had bad sleep, I've had bad eating habits, I've had bad drinking habits, I've had it all. But this year, they've really all come together. And so I just want to say to everyone listening right now or watching, if you do not have a meditation routine, a training routine, a diet routine, and a sleep and relaxation routine in your week, then you're really robbing yourself of just really a happier life. It's just that simple. And for so long, I stayed up late, I kind of abused my body, I didn't take care of it, I didn't train, I didn't take quiet time for my brain, I didn't do affirmations to really kind of, I call it brushing your teeth for your brain in the morning, which is like gratitude statements, affirmations, that kind of thing. If you're not doing this, then you're only living like 50% of life, maybe even 25%, because you're trying to hold yourself back along the way. Or as Dan Pena would say, you need to release your brakes. It's like driving around the whole time with an emergency brake on. You got to release your brakes. So if you don't have these things in your day, then you're never going to be super productive, and you're just going to live this life where it's like, not really productive, reacting all the time, always just settling for good enough, wondering what's going on, and not having these beautiful aha moments, whereas, wow, this day is great, wow, these people are wonderful. So I really think if you're listening to this and you don't have these in your life, you need to do them. So that's basic stuff. For me, it's meditating right when you wake up in the morning. I spoke to Marianne Williamson about this last week, and it's something she does on a regular basis. Have a practice. Have something where you wake up in the morning and you take 5 minutes, 8 minutes, and just spend some time with yourself. Have a physical fitness routine 3 times a week. Just chart it out right now in your week and make sure it happens. For me, I am not creative. London Real isn't what it is unless I train. It's that important. It's like crucial. It's not a luxury that I get to do when I have time. It's something that's essential. And everybody here trains, and it's very important for everything we create. I come back from a leg session, like a squat session yesterday, and I've got ideas that I couldn't have come up with on all the coffee and tea in the world, because I need that time to just get my brain in a different space. So chart these things out, including your affirmations. It's all super important. So I think you need to have this as part of your daily routine, and just make it happen. So I hope that answers your question, Kunal. It's just a super important part of my life. Cruising along, Anthony Arvantinakis, brand new member on the Academy, just posted his video. I love it. You're talking about your business idea. I think you're half Greek, half Dutch. I love it. Great combination. He said, Brian, in your previous video, that's last week's Real Talk, you talked about creator mode versus management mode. It's like maker versus manager. What part of your day is made creating things, and what part of your day is spent managing things? And if you haven't watched that, you can always watch Real Talk episode 5. He said, I love the way you put it, and it's something I apply as well in my daily routine, influenced by David Allen, which is one of our guests. Love David. His question is, what do you do when overwhelmed by management tasks? Anthony says, you're planning on delegating these in the future, but right now your project is low budget. This is a great question, and it's one that I realized a year ago when I went and saw Dan Pena at the Castle. And he said to everybody in the room, he said, stop working in your business and start working on your business. And it's something you might have heard before, but until you have a man in a 3-piece suit with frogs on his ties who's 70 years old yelling it in the front of a classroom in a castle in Scotland, you don't always realize it. But it's so true. So many of us as entrepreneurs or whatever you do are so busy working in our business. And to be honest, for the first 3 years of London Real, I was working in my business more than on my business, which meant I came in, I tinkered. And this is a term I say to people around here, Julian and Luis and some other people, I'm like, you're tinkering. That means you're doing work that doesn't do the 80-20 rule. It doesn't affect the big picture of the show, and you're doing it because you have OCD tendencies, you're a perfectionist, yeah, that's me, and you want something to be just right before you release it. And I remember something Dan said to me a month or two after I got back from the Castle. I think I saw him and Sally for dinner at the Ritz or something. And he's like, Brian, he said, is it that important that the trailer looks like that? He said, is it really that important? And of course I thought, yes, it is. And yeah, of course it is for our brand, and it got us where we are. But his point was, is that an 80-20 step? And so I always want to ask myself, am I doing the things today that are going to change our brand in a year from now? Or am I doing the things today that are going to change it a week from now? And if it's not the first question that I'm answering, then we're going to have a problem in a few months' time, because I need to be thinking about the big ideas. We need to be launching these business accelerator programs and these TED Talk programs so we can build the next group of London Real Academy members that are going to own their business in 12 months from now. And I need to worry less about the short-term pieces. And so I can't emphasize enough that you need to be in maker mode more than manager mode. And maker is when you're creating things, when you're creating IP, as Daniel Priestley would say, or you're turning your IP into products. And that's done with your email shut off. That's done when you're not on Twitter. That's done when you're not on Facebook. That's done when you're doing the hard work, when you're writing a proposal, when you're creating a digital product. It's something you're probably avoiding right now. It's on your to-do list, and you've probably scratched everything off around your to-do list, and you have to do that thing. And it's not fun, and it's hard work, but it's the thing you have to do. So I would emphasize that you need to try to get into that maker mode and work on your business more than anything. I remember I was talking to my dad like 9 months ago about trying to do everything in your business. And he said, Brian, he said, the most work that one person can do is the work of two people. And something about that statement from my dad really hit home, as in you can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you'll do the work of two people. Or you can get the right people involved in your project, and you can delegate, a partner, JV, and maybe do the work of 20 people. So think that way. Don't think I'm going to do everything. And again, JVs and partnerships are the way forward. We do them all the time here. All the time behind the scenes, there's JVs and partnerships. My event with Dan Pena at the Ritz, every episode here, the list goes on. Trust me, you'll see more of these coming. So, that stuff is things you should think about if you have limited resources. So, Anthony, I hope that helps you and answers your question. So many people are working in their business and not on their business, and even smart people and even seasoned professionals and entrepreneurs, you need to step back and think about the big picture. So hope that answers your question. Dominic Tran, Academy member since the beginning. I remember Dominic blew me away when I was going to film one of our webinars, and I looked him up, and he had just posted a picture of Ensign Inouye, who was a famous Pride Fighting Championship mixed martial artist, and he had just done a podcast with him in his kitchen or something. I think you were in Bangkok. And I was just like, wow, I was jealous of the guests you're getting on your show, just like I'm jealous of Archie's guest as well. So blown away by that. Dominic, I haven't heard much from you lately, and this is why. He said, Brian, I started the process of taking my life back again after a very busy 3 months of hard work with no time to relax or even to see my family. That sounds very hard. Brian, when you quit your banking job, did you immediately have the feeling that you took back the control of your life, or were you searching to find your way? Good question, Dominic. You know, if you're working with 3 months really hard and you have no time to relax or no time to see your family, I really feel for you, buddy. To be honest, I couldn't do what I do without being able to see my family every night and spend some quality time with them, because then I feel like I don't know, something's missing in my life, and I need to have my relaxation time. I need to have my training time. I need to see friends and like kind of tune down. And so if you go these periods, you can go a little while without seeing friends and relaxing, but that's not sustainable. So just make sure you know what you're doing and you're doing it for the right reasons, because I don't think you can do that forever. As far as me, taking control of my life, you know, I think taking control of your life is having a good balance in your life. You know, as Dan said, there are work-life choices, not work-life balance, and I make choices. But for me, it's really important that I get home tonight and have dinner, you know, with Gabby and spend some time with her. It's really important that I have some time away from the studio in forms of training or seeing friends or seeing family, that kind of thing. So it's really important to separate those things. When I quit banking, I must say that I did take a lot of control over my life, because I didn't feel like I was on this treadmill of life where I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing anymore. And sometimes you can get to a place in your life and your business where you honestly don't know why you're going to do this job to collect this paycheck, because you're just doing it so you can pay that bill and it's a path of least resistance, and you would be too scared to be unemployed. So I get that. But when I quit, I got some time to take a perspective and just to start asking myself, well, Brian, what do you really want? And what's really important? Is it important to be happy and to explore these things? Or is it important for you to honor this 20-year-old dogma that you want to make as much money as possible to impress I don't know who? And so every now and then you really need to take a step back and ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? So Dominic, for you, I think it would be good for you just to write down on a sheet or take a couple days and wander through the countryside, turn your phone off, and just get some quiet time with yourself and just say, okay, is it worth doing this? Maybe it is. Maybe you're like, I got to work hard for 6 months and make some sacrifices. There's always that old phrase about entrepreneurs. There are people that are willing to do what nobody else is willing to do to live for the rest of their life how they want to live, something like that. And sometimes you do have to make sacrifices, so I get that. But if you're doing it for years on end and you're unhappy, you're probably doing the wrong thing. And I think there's a way to do both. So I hope that answers your question. Definitely you want to try to take a bird's eye perspective sometimes, and that's why holiday times are good, breaks are good. I'm looking forward to Christmas, where it's going to get quiet around here, and I won't necessarily take some time off, but take some time to step back and try to figure out where we want to go before we jump in next year and it gets crazy again. So that's our plan. A few more questions here. Kevin McNamara. Love Kevin. He's a crucial member of the London Real Academy. He's posted his juice cleanses from down in Australia. He got a visit from Tony Flowreel, which means you must be cool. By the way, I was talking to Akash yesterday. Tony and Akash are accountability buddies, and Tony Flowreel flew to Seattle to watch Akash do his TED Talk. Does it get any cooler than that? No, because it doesn't get any cooler than Tony Flowreel. So that's dope. By the way, if you don't have an accountability buddy, then it's easy. If you're watching this on the Academy right now, on the left, on the right-hand side here, pointing this way, you can click on a form now and just request one automatically from Nura, or you can go into the search and search by interests and pick one yourself. So get that done right now. Kevin, you're saying, I'm happy I can make this real talk. It's all good in sunny Australia. It's not sunny in London, but it's actually okay. The weather doesn't even affect me anymore. When I'm doing great things here, I don't even care if it's raining or snowing outside. It doesn't matter. His question is, Brian, is London Real a company, as in do you have a board of directors, a chairman, et cetera, as in the Dan Pena model, or is it more of a lifestyle business? And finally, he says, are you able to expand more on the London Real Summit? Great question, Kevin. Daniel Priestley said something really entertaining and educational when we did the webinar with him. He said, if you have a copy of Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Work Week on your bookshelf, then you are building a lifestyle business. And that was a funny thing he said. And it's very true. Very few of us are actually building anything but a lifestyle business. And a lifestyle business is a business that you can run that probably has maximum 10 or 12 employees that provides you with, say, $2, $3, $4 million worth of revenue a year. And you can have a great business that you love. You can have good money to do the kind of things you want to do. You can make your customers super happy, and you can just lead a really fulfilling existence. When you try to get more than that, you cross the desert, as Daniel says, and that's when you go and you try to make, say, 10, 20, 30, $40 million, and that's when you really have to ramp up in personnel, and you really change what your business looks and feels like. And you get a personnel department, and there's now people in your company you don't recognize, and it starts really changing. And Daniel said he's gone through the desert and back out again, I think 3 times with his company, trying to get through the desert, and he's trying to go through again because it's a tough process, and you either live or you die in the desert. So you either make it through the other side or you go back across, but you don't survive in the desert, as in when you're expanding from that $4 million to, say, $25 million revenue piece, you don't stay in the middle. And so it's a decision you have to make. So for London Real, quite honestly, and I think this applies to most people if you're starting a business, get to the lifestyle first. We're not there. We're not in this stable place right now. We can't really sufficiently fund our operations right now, so we're really trying to build. But yes, I am trying to get a lifestyle business, which right now means we don't have a board of directors. I'm not really on the Dan Pena model of let's get a dream team, let's go and buy up podcasts around the world and roll them out and expand and then sell it. It's not really what I'm trying to do. Dan is about making, what's Dan's mantra is making the kind of wealth that takes a generation in 3 to 7 years. And for me, quite honestly, it's not really about numbers on a board for me. If I went ahead and made 10 million pounds next year, I honestly wouldn't know what to do. Would I post it on Facebook, or would I tell all my friends? Or if we IPO'd London Real, what would I do? Would I hit the mallet on the NASDAQ and be like, look at me? It's not really on my priority list. And so right now I want to create a great company, great content that does cool things and breaks ground and does amazing new things and is known as the new media startup that is changing the face of what media means. That's what we want to do here at London Real, and tell the stories that can't be told through mainstream media or through anywhere else. So that's what we want to do, and that's what we're going to do next year, 2016. Super exciting for me. But for me, that doesn't really require a board of directors and a dream team for now. It does involve the right partners, the right joint ventures, the right advisors, the right mentors, definitely, but not in the classic Pena model. So there you go. And Dan might disagree with me on that, and I don't care. So there you go. The summit in March 12th, is a gathering of all of the greatest members of the London Real Academy. We're doing it here on Saturday, March 12th in London. Hundreds will be there. More to come on that later in the next few weeks, but save the date and be here in London because it's going to be incredible, and that's all I have to say about it. So there you go. Last question comes from John Robinson, who asked me like 10 questions last time, and I appreciate that, John. He says, Brian, I wondered, across your life's important categories, health, wealth, love, and happiness, sounds familiar, and spirituality, who are your role models? How do you know when you've outgrown them? And how does your family cope with your constant evolution? Wow, great question. John Robinson always rocks some great questions. John, great having you on the Academy. I love seeing your stuff in the activity feed, so I appreciate those things. You know, I thought about this before the episode. You know, health, I remember episodes like with Mike Dolce. When Mike was here, I really respond to a lot of what he says. No pills, no powders, no potions. You know, he trains UFC athletes, and he has them cut weights and they fight. It's actually the pinnacle of physical fitness. So, you know, John Mike Dolce is the guy that I kind of have as a health role model. Lately, though, people change. So Ido Portal, I love the way he's taught me about movement and how my body moves and all the new things I've been doing recently. If you look at my Ido Portal second meeting and experience and now third interview, which will be coming out soon, I'm doing ring work, I'm doing parallel bar work, I'm doing lizard crawls, I'm doing backhand walkovers. It's crazy. So Ido's had a big effect on me. Elliot Hulse, his active meditation, his way of communicating with his body, Elliot had a big effect on me. And just recently, Wim Hof. I've taken now 2 cold showers in a row. It's been fantastic. After I train, I actually take a hot shower, and then I turn it down until it's absolutely freezing, and I hold it as long as I can without trying to bother or without trying to worry everyone in the locker room as I make breathing noises and yelping noises in the shower, naked alone. So that's thanks to Wim Hof. Those are some of my health people that have been role models to me. Spirituality, Anita Morjani, Love Yourself. Marianne Williamson, last week we talked about forgiveness. How do you forgive members of, say, the group ISIS for things that happened in Paris recently? We talked about that. How to hold people accountable. Super empowering for me. So those have been people that I looked at. Dorian Yates, for the way he looks at spirituality. I've really those people have taught me a lot. Outgrowing people, I think that's super important. You know, it's great to have heroes, but I think it's great to kill your darlings as well. And so it's great to move on and find new heroes. And sometimes it's really good also to kind of find out that your heroes are just normal people just like you, and they're not gods, and you should move on. And that's, I guess, one of the benefits I get, because I get to interview people. And one thing I always find, when they come to London Real and they sit down in this chair here and I interview them, they're just normal people that have done extraordinary things, but they're just like you and me. They have bad days, they have good days, they get frustrated, they get anxious, they get self-conscious, but they find a way to make it through and deliver. And that's really the only difference. And they find a way to push themselves to the next level. You know, lately, I've been asking myself, what makes the people different that get to sit in this chair that I speak to every week? And when I have a guy like Eddie Izzard here last week, like, what makes Eddie who he is? And I'm coming to the final conclusion of this. He's a guy that pushes himself to the limit and goes to where the fear is every day or every week of his life. And when so many people would be happy with selling out the Hollywood Bowl or selling out Madison Square Garden and retiring, he goes on to say, now I have to sell out 30 nights straight in London. And so if you want to know what makes kind of the players from the spectators, it's the people that just get uncomfortable on a regular basis. And if you want to be one of those people, or you want to be in the arena with the big players, if you want to piss in the tall weeds with the big dogs, as Gordon Gekko from Wall Street would say, then you have to just, one thing, be willing to go where most people won't go, and that's to scary places, uncomfortable places, fearful places. And if you do that on a regular basis, you will evolve and you will get to where you want to be. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So I hope that answered your question. John, how does your family cope with my constant evolution? Oh my gosh, you'll have to ask Mariana and Gabby that. I don't know how they cope with me and my nonsense, to be honest. I spend so much time here in the studio, so much time preparing, so much time going manic, so much time being frustrated that I'm not prepared enough when Wim Hof comes in, even though I've over-prepared. So much time thinking that the next thing is so crucial, staying here late at night, working on the next program, working on the Business Accelerator, working on the TED Talk course. You know, I don't know how they put up with me, but they do. I guess they see a mad scientist here going crazy, and so they support me so much. Just having a family that supports you is so important. As Brad Burton, who will be here next week, by the way, said, you got to have your base. And once you have a base of friends and family, that allows you to go out and soar. You know, it's almost like an aircraft carrier. Then you can go off and go to new territory. You always come back to your base and you recharge, and then you can go out again. And I'm telling you, if I was a bachelor and I had to go home every night, I couldn't do half the stuff I do here. So that's a long way of me saying thank you to my girls. They don't hear it enough. And we had a great Thanksgiving dinner last week, and we had about 20 people over, and Mariana cooked this huge turkey, and she made this 10-foot Christmas tree, and she hit this huge spread out, and I'm just like so grateful for the things she does and my family for putting up with me. I'm so lucky, and there is no London Real without them. So when you're off trying to build your dream and your company and your entrepreneurial idea, spend some time building your base and put your family in place and put your good, positive friends in place. Ones that won't be jealous when you succeed, ones that will brag to their friends about your success. If you can put that peer group in place, which is part of the reason we have the Academy, and put that friend and family in place, then you're going to do great when it comes to expanding your business. So I hope that helped. Last question John asks is, what live event are you looking forward to most for 2016? You know, to be honest, John, I am just so pumped for 2016, it's not even funny. I feel like it's going to be the greatest year that London Real has ever had. We have an incredible team here behind the scenes. I could mention their names, but I'll be going on and on and on. Okay, I'll do it. Julian, Luis, Dre, Nura, Ursula, James, Woon. We've got all these people, Kat, that are just doing so many things. We've got Gavin, Christmas party here, 10 people that are going to be showing up to a restaurant where 2 years ago it was me and Julian having lunch. So we have an incredible team ahead of us. We've got exciting announcements coming out in January. We've got guests coming on that you'll never believe. We've got courses. We've got the summit March 12th. We've got the Academy expanding. So many big things are happening, and I just can't wait to announce them and to just really blow you guys away, and just to show the world that we're doing something special here. We're doing something new. We're doing something, we're doing it in the right way. You know, we're doing something that, it's really telling the stories that are so important, that really define who we are as people, and take us to that spiritual level about what's really important. And it might sound on the surface that we just talk to people and do interviews every week, but there's something deeper about what we're doing. And I think when people get it, they really get it. And I think we're taking that medium and showing the world that there's more important things out there than short form content or short form talks or superfluous and superficial engagements in life. And I think that's what London Real ultimately is all about. And we're bringing it next year. So stay tuned. If you want to be involved, contact me. Get on the Academy. That's where it all happens. If you want to message me, I only talk to Academy members these days. I'm sorry. So join the Academy. It's easy. It's cheap. Send me a private message. Get on the activity feed. Book a focus group here. I think we're booked December 11th. I might be wrong. Next one, January 15th here. They're getting bigger and better. Meet your tribe. Get out of your comfort zone. There's so many things happening, but I encourage you to do that. Build the best you. We've got, New Year's resolutions coming up, so make some changes. Literally, we will be talking a year from now, and we'll have made some big changes, but will you have? And it really depends on you really making the changes in your life. Otherwise, another year will go by like that, and you'd be like, what happened? I'm the same person. So I hope you make changes. I get such a buzz out of seeing the people on London Real Academy kill it, whether it comes to watching Akash on his TED Talk or watching everyone just accomplish great things. It's like the greatest drug I've ever known. So get on there, feed my habit, and that's it. Real Talk Episode 6. See me next week for Real Talk Episode 7 with my special guest, Brad Burton, the incredible motivational speaker. I love Brad so much, so tune in for that. Leave us your questions for him, and that's it. I'm out of here. That's been Real Talk.